left a little early. The group decided to potentially scout around a little bit, and I believe they scouted down to this lower area. And I can't remember, but I think maybe they heard sounds, or at least recognized that this was the room where they had heard sounds from before, from when they were in the mine maze. But eventually the group decided to take a short rest to recover some of their wounds, use some hit die, and during the rest, two of the party members saw the flaming skull that you guys had previously put down kind of roll over, reflame up, and then rise up into the air. And that's where we are right now. So it's going to be a roll for initiative.
So, question on it: was the skull itself damaged when we hit it? Like, did any of that damage repair itself, or is it in the same state it was previously, just with flames around it and up again?
We'll roll your initiative, and then I'll let you roll a perception check. From what you can tell, the skull looks unblemished. But in either case, we're top of the round. At this point, the two party members did call out as the flaming skull rose, and so everybody's aware.
All right, my turn then?
Yep, Nadi, you get to kick it off. Or punch it off. Or kick and punch it off. I mean, you're a monk.
Did we recognize anything doing more damage to it last time? Or was there anything else that I'm missing from the fight last time against it that we figured out?
I don't recall.
Yeah, we recognized that Nadia was very effective against it. At least as I recall.
Nadia had some. All of the bludgeoning type stuff seemed to be pretty effective against it.
Okay.
All right. Did you lock tokens?
That's a good question. I did now. Off you go. And it's just hovering like 5 feet off the floor.
5 feet off the floor.
I'll start by trying to smack it with my staff. And I'll follow up with an unarmed attack. And I'll leave it at that for right now.
All right. Evander?
Gonna move up there, take out the long sword and smack it.
Okay. Go ahead and control left click and target it. Ineffective. Let's see. Yep, he's going to cast Blur on himself again. And he's going to rise up in the air, but not out of your reach. So he's just going to be like 8 feet up or something.
How high is this area?
That's a good question. This is, I would assume, a little higher since it's got the forge and everything else. 20 feet.
How high does the forge go up to the ceiling?
Yeah, there's room between the ceilings, so let's say 15 feet. So there's a 5-foot gap right there.
Okay.
All right, Tertius.
Tertius is gonna move out here, and he's gonna target Mr. Skull, and he's gonna try to hit him. Well, not gonna try. He's gonna put a moonbeam on him. You want to move me?
Yep.
And I'm assuming since he rose up, there's no disadvantage.
No disadvantage.
Okay, so just a save then.
Yep. And there's your moonbeam token. We'll just move that over.
I did the effect.
Okay, he succeeded, but I think he still takes some damage, doesn't he?
Yeah.
All right.
And then, what's my distance here? I moved 20 feet. I still have another 10 feet. I'm going to move back to here. I should still be able to see him.
Oh yeah, no problems.
And control my moonbeam.
Okay, Dalen, I get your plotted move.
Yes.
All right. So let's see, because he's elevated, I'm going to give you a +2 instead of advantage.
Okay.
Since you're not quite opposite, right?
Did you say he cast Blur on himself also?
He did cast Blur on himself.
He did.
So does that affect the to hit roll at all, or will that be done automatically?
Automatic disadvantage.
Okay. Have we done 1 or 2 short rests since our last long rest?
One, to my knowledge.
couldn't remember if we
That
did a
sounds about
short
right.
rest 2 weeks
That's
ago.
about right.
I'm looking up an ability real quick. All right, I will. I'll just go ahead and attack. Oh, shoot. Wrong one. Wrong swing. Wrong one.
That's right. He's still hit either way. All right.
And that's it.
Alright, Bogdan will move up around under there.
No problem.
So just a normal roll, or
Yeah, for you, just a normal roll since you don't have anybody opposite.
okay? Hang on a second. When we were doing the fight the last time, we were doing like +2 or something like that, just because there was multiple people around the thing. So I'm not sure I understand that.
I know before we had -2s because we had people around corners with partial cover. I don't recall giving somebody a +2 for partial flanking. Does anybody else remember that?
I don't recall.
I don't know either.
All right.
Luckily, a flaming skull is pretty easy to hit. Even with this blur, you guys are still beating on it pretty good.
+2?
Yes. Time for bed, Elizabeth. And you guys immediately jump all over its shit, crack it, bring it down.
Now, question, when it goes down, does it stay flaming or does the flames go out?
So the flames go out, but give me a perception check, everybody, since you all probably very interested in this thing now.
Well, I was actually going to use Divine Sense to see if something was still around.
Ah, perfect. So, Nadia, yeah, the flames go out. Evander, Bogner, the flames go out. Evidently, you guys staring right into its flaming visage still kind of has that after corona effect in your eyes. Tertius, a little further away, you can kind of see that there's some faint glowing in the sockets still. And then Dalen, it still triggers as, you know, you can sense this is an undead entity still right in front of you. Even though it's unconscious, it's still present. And you've known from previous experience, like when zombies or like all the zombie bodies that are around you are inert. They're not being sensed as an undead entity. So this thing still hasn't been fully destroyed.
Are out of curiosity, with divine sense, it also will detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hallow spell. Is there any within 60 feet? So is there anything around like that in the area that I can sense?
Excuse me. Nope.
Okay.
Let's see. So, Dalen. So I'll take from anybody, since you guys are trying to figure out, why this thing came back up, and you probably sense that if you do nothing, it will return. I'll take either religion or nature or arcana from anybody, and you can roll them out in the open. Okay. The bards remembered stuff that things that seem to regenerate um, need to be either burned to death or consecrated, or there's various ways that you can eliminate its rejuvenating magic. And Tertius knows, well, this is a flame skull, so burning it's pretty much not something that will work. But perhaps there's a magical explanation, like consecration through holy water, or maybe a dispel, or remove curse, or something to that effect.
I'm not a very religious paladin because I don't seem to have much of that stuff.
But in the meantime, it got back up in about an hour, so it's going to be down for
Nadia looks over at Bogner and says, "You want to give it a crack or two at the axe and see if you can just bust it into pieces?"
With my hammer? Sure.
Hammer's better.
Get the forge going and try to throw it in there, even though it's a flaming skull.
I was hoping that we could use it to start the forge.
That is so funny. I was just like, what if they stick it in the forge? Go ahead and just roll me damage. I mean, it's a big skull. It's not like a small lock or something, that's unwieldy. It's right there. You guys have just been smacking it. So you give it a crack, and your hammer kind of, when you hit something hard, but it kind of bounces back, like a metal hammer on concrete, it kind of rebounds a little bit. You get that kind of effect. The skull's really, really hard, and you don't get any sense that you're doing any more damage with that strike. You can try to strike it again, see if you want to beat on it a few times and see what happens.
Sure. I'm going to roll for hit or just damage?
Yeah, just give me 2 more damage rolls. All right, that's better. 1 more. Okay. So after a couple more strikes, you can definitely tell that this is, this skull is kind of arcanely reinforced, right? But you do see some pretty decent cracks appearing. You're not sure if you could really bust this skull into pieces, but you are seeing some good striations in the bone structure.
I'm certainly willing to try a few more hits.
Yeah, you get the sense that you would probably be beating on it for the next hour. So let's say, for brevity's sake, that you do start, wailing away at it for, let's say, 5-10 minutes. Is everybody watching this spectacle of the dwarf just trying to shatter this thing?
I would.
Well, Nadia's going to move away.
Okay.
I would probably join in on that on the bashing. Yeah.
Trying to do like a railroad chain gang. where it's like bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang. Okay. Give me
Oh, what about this whole moonbeam thing? Can we just keep like targeting with that?
Yep. So it's just on there for like the next minute. So it's just providing what is it? Radiant damage for moonbeam.
Yeah, 2d10 radiant.
Okay. So between you guys bashing it for, let's say, just the next minute, between the moonbeam raining down on it, you guys cranking away at it, you can see some physical cracks, fairly hefty. And you guys all take a moment, like a little breather, like, oh, this is some effort. You would have thought a normal skull would have just gone to dust by now. But as you're waiting, you're actually seeing some of those cracks close up. And so it is slowly just healing itself. So it makes you wonder, is even if you pounded this into tiny pieces, you wonder if they wouldn't just magically reform.
So just to further that experiment a little bit, can I take a crowbar and pry the jaw off of the skull and see what happens?
Sure. Give me a strength or athletics check.
Why don't we just throw some of this ore, find some water, this unrefined ore to kind of weigh it down, and then throw it in, bury it in some water.
Yeah, I was thinking about the lake that's up in the other area, but I'd really rather just, and this is role playing as much as anything, I'd really rather try to destroy it than just bury it in the water.
So you try to get the crowbar in there, and when you're holding something and trying to get leverage, and you can't quite seem to hold the item in your hand and with enough leverage to counter the leverage that you've got from the crowbar, and so you just can't seem to really get any decent leverage to wrench it off. But the more you guys play with this, you really get the sense that you're going to need some magic to take care of this. I mean, if you want to destroy it, you're really going to need, some holy water, or like I said, dispel magic or remove curse, something to that effect.
Not that I have it, but I assume bless probably wouldn't be enough.
Tertius doesn't have anything that would work, so.
Yeah, so maybe tying it.
Moonbeam's about as close as he's got.
The furnace that is next to you does have openings. There's a little gate, of course, around the bellows that can be closed to minimize air escaping around the bellows. There's gates or little, latched openings on either side for putting in fuel, and of course there's like a kiln. Like kiln's not the right word, but there's an ore smelting unit on top where you can pull the ore buckets off and dump them, and then put more raw ore in, heat them back up again. But you're not. You don't get the sense that that it would contain an entity like that. It might be able to force its way out. Yeah, Bogner?
So I'm looking at the party sheet. It says that Dalen has a scroll of Revivify. What does that do?
Revivify is like bring somebody back from the dead that has only very recently died. I think it's like in the last minute.
So, what do you guys want to do with this skull thing?
Well, I don't have anything that I can do either of the characters. If we've determined that it looks like it's going to need to be blessed or whatnot, I don't think that we have anything that we can just trap it in.
Right.
I'm looking through all of my stuff. I can't. How do you? So Jim.
Well, let's say you've got.
How do you bless?
Sorry, go ahead.
How do you create holy water?
Yeah.
So I don't know that. I thought that you needed a bless spell or something of the sort.
A religion check for that.
Well, I would have to change my the prepared spells to get blessed, so it'd be at least a long rest to get that.
Right, but I'm figuring that with that we could probably find you a place to go rest, and we just keep hammering this guy away every time he wakes up until you've rested.
Or we could temporarily move on while this thing is unconscious. Come beat it up and then bless it.
Yeah, my only worry is that there's all these other corpses still, and if he comes back, he's going to have them ready for us.
Just we can stick them in the furnace.
So what you guys do have around you, right, is you do have some mining carts full of ore. The mining carts are metal. They're pretty heavy.
Stick them at the bottom of that.
Or put one upside down on top of them.
Yeah, I can see it.
So just to let you know, there's a spell, paladin or cleric spell called Ceremony. It's a new spell from Xanathar's Guide, so it's probably why it's not on your sheet, Dalen. And that could be used to create holy water. But I would probably figure out, with a bless and maybe using a good religion roll, maybe you could do it.
We able to move those carts readily?
With all of you, yeah.
Actually, is it a long rest or a short rest to change what spells I have prepared?
I believe, actually, it's a short rest for you to adjust what you've prepared. You just don't get any spell slots back.
Right.
So, yeah.
Because I do have two slots left if we wanted to try the short rest. And I guess if there's a spell that I wouldn't have to do a religion check based on my last couple rolls that I could memorize, I would do that one. Otherwise it'd be bless and whatever else I'd need to do for the.
So I think that we should go ahead and we should do that. We should go ahead and let you do a short rest. But I don't want to leave this. I don't want to leave the skull in this room under that thing. I think that I don't know if it can still affect the zombies or the corpses from there. So I'd like to move it out back to close to where these double doors are, because that's just a big empty room. Those are all fused shut. And then bring a cart over and flip it over there on it.
Okay.
At least getting ourselves away from its immediate influence of these potential zombies.
All right.
So the double doors that we did go through, there was the other room, smaller room that's south of that. Was that door still functional or not?
Which one?
We went through the one set of double doors and killed the wraith or whatever it was, and there's another room on the map that's just to the south of that.
Yeah, we went in there. Yeah, it was functional, and it was just a like a closet.
Yeah. Wood door, not stone. Reinforced wood, but still wood. Dalen, you now have Ceremony added to your spells list. It does take an hour to cast. You have all the other components, but by the time you finish casting it, the this thing, as it's currently lies there, would be probably back up.
Yeah, so I'd probably want to cast it. Well,
Well,
I could always
keep
cast
beating
it in the
it?
same room.
So Jim, could we keep beating at it and just keep it unconscious until he's ready?
We could attempt that, and I would have you guys roll Constitution checks. I'd have to figure out how many Constitution checks to see if you guys can maintain it before you become exhausted. But sure, you could attempt that.
Well, I mean, just that's another option. So, how do you guys want to proceed?
Yeah, I mean, I say that we basically just kept it beat down for an hour, and then taking turns, and then have them cast a spell on it.
I mean, it took an hour for the thing to come back up last time, right? I mean, so we basically go at it like, once every 10 minutes. So that's good.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, Kev, was, we saw that the cracks were coming up. So we wait for 10 minutes, pummel it again until we see the cracks. Wait until we see those cracks appear, disappearing. 10 minutes, hit it again. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. Yeah, that seems a lot more doable.
Okay, so do we want to pull back, though? I still don't like the fact we're waiting in here with all these corpses. There's still corpses in here, right, Jimmy?
Still corpses in here. And
So
they're all mostly desiccated corpses. It's not like they're fresh corpses, right? These are hundreds of years old.
Okay, well, still raise skeletons.
Yeah, I'm fine with pulling back.
You want to pull back to that room that you were talking about? That seems like a good structurally sound room where we can kind of wall ourselves off.
Okay, I've unlocked tokens, so you guys can move yourselves wherever you'd like.
Hey, Jim, are these carts or carts easily movable when they're still on their wheels?
Yeah, I mean, there's enough of you that you guys can move them. Of course, some of these carts, the wheels have rusted. So like maybe 2 wheels roll and the other 2 don't. And none of them roll freely.
Do we want to even bother with that, Bogner, or just go back and keep beating on it until Dalen's ready?
We can just go back. That's fine.
Okay, so we're going to go back to that room then? Is that what everybody thinks?
We could check out the room that we haven't checked out yet.
I'm worried if we get in another battle, that thing might raise itself while we're not paying attention to it.
Yeah, I don't want to start anything new until we've dealt with this thing.
All right, so does Dalen need to actually rest then? You coming back to Kev? There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so just so I can, because I had to kind of pace it through in my head, what really happens here, okay, is it's really a 2-hour thing. It takes him an hour just so he can kind of re-prepare the ceremony spell. And then the ceremony spell itself takes an hour to cast.
Okay.
But your current plan, like every 10 minutes, just kind of cracking it a few times. I don't see that as anything that would cause you guys to get, more tired than anything else. So I think you guys are fine.
Okay, so the time passes. Is there anything that we need to roll while the time's passing?
Nope. So we'll just say that you guys are successfully doing it. Anybody who isn't cracking on the flaming skull every 10 minutes can take a short rest. again. So if you guys are thinking like, oh, these two will be on it for this hour, and then these two will be on it for this hour, while Dalen's off in the corner doing what he needs to do.
Tertius doesn't think he's going to be any help in doing that, so Tertius isn't going to help that.
Yeah, so
And
he could take the advantage of a short rest.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to help him any, though. I don't get any spell slots back, right?
No, that's correct. Okay.
So, no.
So, Dalen, go ahead and mark off 25 silver pieces. Or actually, I'll just take it out of the party sheet.
Okay.
Why don't Evander? Why don't you take advantage of a short rest so that you can use hit dice to cure your wound?
All right. Yeah, I already took a took a short rest.
So let me apply another short rest, just so if there's any skills or anything. I think they're all already initialized. Evander, you can use your Song of Rest against yourself now, since you used a recovery die. You'll have to expand it and then give yourself a 1d6 heal.
There you go.
All right. So finally,
it still shows wounded though in 3 points.
Oh, I'll drag it over to him because he didn't heal himself.
Okay, there you go. Yep, it's gone. Okay.
So you're good. Okay, so Dalen sets himself up. Prepares the ceremony spell. Asks Bogner to, hey, can you grind these silver coins to some powder for me? Bogner, helps grind that down. Smashes it flat. Does some
In
other
the
stuff.
meantime, do we have anything that'll like hold water? Was there anything that we had around that would hold water?
Other than other ore carts, nothing else in here seemed to have survived.
What about over in the other area though that we were at? You said there was ore carts, but you also said there were other stuff.
No, I'm trying to think if there's anything that you guys have come across. Maybe in the barracks area where you fought the bugbears. There might have been something in there, some flagons, eating utensils, that kind of thing. You all do have water skins. And you probably have some
I figured
vials.
that's what we're using. Okay. I was just wondering if we're going to make it in the water skin, or if we were going to have there's a bucket or something, and then we just douse the head in it, or are we spraying it over it, or okay. So are we creating this in a water skin then? There's nothing that we have that's going to sit here and hold water, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay, so it's going to be in a water skin.
Okay, so Dalen, you can mark off a level 1 spell slot. And I already took off the 25 silver pieces. And if you're good, you just dump it on. Do you sprinkle it on? You try to save some of your holy water, or just give it the full half gallon.
Is his spell that is able to identify if it's dead or still a bit alive available, or is it still working? Is that a duration?
Divine Sense would give him a knowledge if this entity was still a viable undead being. And if it,
all right.
Can I do the Divine Sense while I am putting the holy water on it?
Is it instantaneous, or does it have a duration?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Let's see, blah, blah, blah. As an action, you open your awareness and until the end of your next turn.
Until the end of your next turn.
Yeah. So sure. I could say you can hit Divine Sense and then as a free action, pour the water on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Right.
Okay.
I'll pour it. I'm not going to sprinkle it too slow because I have a general idea of how long Divine Sense will work, but if I can save some water, great. If I can't, I'll use all of it.
Okay, roll me a percentile die.
would a backpack actually hold the water?
For a brief amount of time, but it would leak.
Like how brief?
Assuming there's nothing else in the backpack, I would say a typical backpack could hold 6 gallons of water, and may be able to hold it for a couple minutes. But I mean, that's just steadily draining out for the 2 minutes. So at the end of the 2 minutes, you'd have nothing.
I just noticed that Bogner has a backpack that says empty.
Probably just wasn't renamed. Okay, so it takes just more than half. As you do your divine sense, you can sense that this creature is still, has an undead presence to it. You start, sprinkling it on and sprinkling some more, and as soon as that holy water hits the skull, you can see the skull go from this pearlescent white that looks ageless to a very scorched and blackened gray. And the more you dump on it, the more pieces go scorched and blackened. And then as you start pouring it on slowly, you can see as it covers and washes over the entire skull, the whole skull now becomes scarred and blackened and gray. And then pretty soon you hear an audible crack, very loud and sharp, and it splits, and you pour the next quarter of your holy water onto it, and it splits in a couple more places, and then it falls apart into like 3 or 4 big pieces, and you feel from your divine sense that it is no longer considered undead. It has been destroyed completely.
Yay!
Cuckoo.
Nadia goes over and stomps on the remains, grounds them into dust.
Okay, give me an athletics check. I want to see something. Okay, yeah, you stomp on it, and now it's brittle. I mean, you stomp on one of the bigger pieces, like the forehead chunk that is normally the strongest part of a skull, and it just shatters into a bunch of coin-sized pieces just with one blow of your foot.
Cool. So we've taken care of this stuff. Tertius will let everybody know that, hey, I'm not going to be able to produce another moonbeam or a flaming sphere. I need to rest before I do that. I still can do some healing and stuff like that if needed, but right now, we need to decide: are we going to push on and do some more exploring, or do we want to take this time to really rest up? Nadia kind of shrugs. Nadia knows that she's okay. She doesn't have any, her key is all good because of the short rests and whatnot, so she's fine. But she'll just look around and indicate that, yeah, we can do whatever anybody needs.
I mean, I still have some healing spells. I mean, as far as spell slots, like I still have 2 level 2 spells and 2 level 1 spells. So, and I'm good on my bardic inspiration. So I mean, I can continue.
It's just Tertius letting people know we can push forward, or we can use this location as our base.
There are these doors just north of us that, I mean, I have one spell slot left.
Those doors to the north are fused shut. The double doors and the single door.
Well, the hinges are partially melted, just like they were for these doors.
Right. We'd have to force it loudly, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I could cast knock on it.
So
It's not locked.
yeah, it's not locked. It's not going to force a door open.
Okay.
You still
and
have
you would
a
know that.
silence?
The what?
Nadia has silence. You gotta remember though that silence is a huge radius, so I'm not gonna just be able to silence a small area. So whatever's, if there is anything in there, it's gonna notice that something's going on.
You could probably deftly place your silence so the exterior is just on the periphery. What's your range? Is it 15 or 20?
Let me look it up.
It's 15.
It's a 20-foot radius sphere.
Okay. So there's an
And
example of
the
what you
the
can do.
range is 120 feet.
Right. So I just put a circle on the map, kind of showing you where you could place the center of it to do, I think, what you're attempting to do without really affecting too much of the interior.
Okay. Well,
Bogner's good to stand watch if people need to rest. But
yeah, same with Nadia. I mean, she's fine either way. So if we want to move on and do one more, or if we want to make sure that we have all of our firepower, we rest.
Let's I am curious to see what's in that room before we take a rest.
All right, we'll take a vote. Nadia has no opinion.
I'm kind of curious about opening it too.
All right.
So there you go. There's open the room. You can click yes, no, or whatever. Sounds like you've already said yes.
Which is yes, which is no.
A check is yes, and an X is no.
Nadia doesn't care, so she's blank.
All right.
That's Tertius.
Tertius is like, I'd rather rest. 2 says, let's open it. Nadia's like, meh. Okay.
No, we're likely to find undead in there if there's anything. Because the door doesn't open.
All right. So Nadia, here's the plan that we're gonna silence. So Nadia's gonna cast that silence. Let me get that thing out here.
Okay.
That's where she's going to cast her silence spell.
All right.
Let me click off 2 key and hit my effect.
Very
if I
good.
hit it on Tertius, does that matter? I didn't see that it appeared anywhere. Let me unclick Tertius. Let me click on Nadia, I guess.
Let me look at something here real quick on that, because it should be set up for self silence.
Yeah, I don't see an effect on me though when I clicked it. I can click it again.
There. So now I've just turned it to self, so now it applies to you, Nadia.
There. Okay, so I've got silence up and it's ready.
Okay, so who wants to try to apply their brawn to this door? One person,
Nadia
2
is
people.
back here with her bow ready.
Bogner can try and force it.
Okay. If let's say if Dalen wants to help, you can get advantage, Bogner.
Yeah, I'll help.
Okay, so just a regular strength check with advantage.
Which one? Okay.
Okay. Sure enough, you leverage it. You know, you kind of work a hinge. You work something else. You kind of pull the almost welded hinge kind of free from the wall a little bit, and then you leverage a door, and sure enough, you get it to open up, and you open up fairly not wide open, but enough that you guys can all look into it. And
So I'm on a motion for everyone to like not move in, and I want to do the same thing I did last time and find something and toss it in the room.
so the interior of this room does have light already, and so as you kind of peek in, and for pretty much everybody except for maybe, well, all of you can see most of the details here. Tertius probably can't see the. Well, let's see. Which door are you opening? I'll say it doesn't matter. They both open. So you guys can see the brazier.
Tertius would only have a produced flame in his hand. He's not going to be able to see in anyway, and neither will Evander because he's only going to be able to see as far as Tertius's flame goes.
Well, inside, there's light emanating from this point here. And so as you see, this is a large workshop.
Okay.
It was badly damaged as well. Worked tables are taking up 2/4 of the room, and they're scorched, and plaster has been burned off the walls. The walls are stone. In the middle of the room, a stone pedestal holds a small brazier in which an eerie green flame dances and crackles. The brazier and the pedestal appear to have been untouched by the forces.
Do you want to remove the fog?
Yep.
It looks like Dalen decided to just divine sense.
It was actually marking it off from the when I destroyed the skull.
Oh, okay.
But I was also considering doing it in here.
I just saw the thing, so I was like,
okay. Behind the brazier of green flame floats a spherical creature measuring roughly 4 feet in diameter. 4 eye stalks protrude from its central mass, 2 on each side. In the center of the body is a large eye that stares at you. Hello, says a thick, burbling voice inside your head.
Hello. What's your name?
My name? Interesting that you should ask. I don't recall. What is my name? I wonder. What's your name?
My name's Evander.
You can't hear him. Oh, is it his skull? Is it inside his head?
Yep.
Okay, well, you can try to respond. He may not be able to hear you.
I'm gonna name you Poofru.
So could the thing have heard him when he asked to begin with? Asked the name, Jimmy? Because Evander's right in the middle of this silence spell.
No. So while it has telepathy, Evander does not.
Right. So it would never have asked his name because he wouldn't have ever heard Evander say anything.
He would have never responded. That's true.
Right. Evander would never have. Yeah. Exactly.
Should I try and talk to this thing? Well, there might.
I was thinking I would walk in past the silence and say, "Hello, you've probably been in here a long time."
Time. Yes, long time. Short time? No matter. It's just time. And he just kind of floats around. So he's actually kind of neutral to you right now.
What are you doing in here?
Good question. Doing. I don't know. Doing. Mages put me here. Yes. In fact, I don't know where they are. They haven't visited in a while. Seems strange to a mine, yes. But I watch guard. Yes.
What are you
Well,
guarding?
Oh. And he kind of points over to some items on a work table. One of which is a looks like a mace, and another one looks like a breastplate. And he says, "Things all the mages in here are working on. Yes, yes, they should be by probably any time to continue their efforts. Hmm. This is a busy mind, busy, busy.
do you know where the mages are?
Hmm. They live around. They come by many times, often. I mean, you're a mage, aren't you?" Kind of looking in just in general between all of you.
Nadia is only hearing the half of the conversation.
Nadia can. Yeah, yeah. You would hear the spectator kind of broadcasting in your head.
I had always wondered that if you're inside the silence, you don't hear anything from outside the silence either. Is that correct?
You don't hear anything at all. It doesn't penetrate, but that doesn't. If it's telepathy, telepathy is inside your head, not a noise.
Oh, right.
Not a noise.
Right. Yeah, I was never 100% clear on whether the silence barrier was just preventing sound from leaving it or if it also prevented sound entering.
No sound will
Both.
penetrate or escape the sphere that the silence spell is at.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that the mages actually sent me to gather their items because they want to fight something.
Oh, I see. Well, you don't have the mage robes, and you don't look gnomish. But go ahead and roll me a deception check.
You want it in the tower?
Yes, please.
You sounded like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons when you said that. Yes.
Yes, Miss.
And I was going to go ahead and try to persuade and say, well, we're just gophers. We don't. The mages are busy and just send us off to do their errands,
Okay.
kind of the way they have you do their guarding for them.
So give me a persuade check in the tower. And if you're successful, I'll allow you to... Okay, so Evander, go ahead and give me another deception roll in the tower. So we'll give it considered you had advantage with it.
You want advantage on it?
No, just roll it again, straight up. Deception, though. There we go. Okay. So with that, it goes, oh, that makes sense. That's fine. When are the mages coming back? I assume they're going to want to work some more.
Yeah. I mean, the last time that we talked, we were on the other end, but yeah, we're just gonna go drop these items off for him, and then we'll see him then. Do you have a message that you'd like to relay?
Yes. When are they going to release me? When can I go back to my own plane? This is boring. And it's just kind of floating around. Kind of gets up and looks in Bogner's face, which is really kind of, you're not sure what to look at, Bogner. Either the huge eye right in front of you, or in fact, here, let me pass this along to everybody so you can kind of see what it looks like. Or either of the four eye stalks that, come around. One looks at like your waist, another's looking at your ear hole, another's looking at like past you. You're not. It's a little unnerving. But yeah, the spectator's like, yes, yes. Ask when they will send me home.
Okay, will do.
I'm gonna say I heard a couple of them arguing about that. But whether to one of them wanted to send you home and one didn't. Do you know which one would have been the one who wanted to send you home? Because we could go just ask him and see what he says.
Good question. Probably the one that didn't summon me in the first place. Probably Framzin. Yeah, probably Framzin.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go ask him when we take these back and find out whether you should be released or not.
Do you know, have you been outside of this room?
No, I'm here to guard, so I guard. No reason to leave. Not told to leave. Contract says, stay here. Guard flame. Silly flame never goes out. Don't know why it needs guarding. Guard benches. Nobody comes in. Easy job, but boring. I wish that racket outside with the flaming hammers and everything else over in the forge would go away. You guys don't hear any noise, by the way.
What's behind the other door?
He just says it's another room, kind of like a room for discussions. They just talk in there, discuss.
Does it look like this door is damaged like the rest of them?
No, it looks like you can open it from this side.
How high is this room?
It's this is actually about 10 feet high.
Nadia, hearing all this conversation going on, will try to give the thing something to focus on. She's going to stand up on the ceiling and look at it, see if it attracts its attention. So if you guys wanted to go look in that room.
Okay, give me a oh shoot. What would make sense? Performance makes sense, or let's see.
I'm just thinking it's going to be like, why are you on the ceiling?
Oh, do you like songs?
Songs?
Yeah, have you heard them?
Of course I've heard songs, just not in a while.
Oh, well, I can play for you if you'd like.
Oh. Well, do it fast. The wizards might not like it. And then Nadia, you're kind of walking up and on the ceiling. You've attracted one of its eye stalks. That seems to be just permanently fixed on you.
I've got my staff ready just in case I want to smack the crap out of it.
Okay. Evander, you what instrument are you? Are you singing? Are you playing an instrument?
I will be singing.
All right. What are you singing?
Some old. Let's do some like dwarf songs. Some olden dwarf songs.
An old dwarvish song?
Yeah.
Okay. Two songs immediately come to your mind. One is a drinking song, and the other is a mining song.
Let's do a mining song.
Okay. And Wagner, in fact, you know this mining song that he sings. It's kind of like the nearly traditional mining song that just laborers kind of chant, sing as they're, beating on the veins. And he does a pretty good job. And the spectator seems to be watching you, all except for the one eye stalk that's still trained on Nadia, who's upside down. And in fact, now the eye stalk is like slowly rotating, so the eyeball is upside down, so it is oriented with you, Nadia, as well. Bogner, you seem to say, "All right, I can take this distraction." You open up that room, and it's also kind of another working room. The items in here seem to be more geared for prepping items. Um, polishing them, sanding them, finishing them. Um, maybe maybe some fine shaping. You see some, uh, badly worn or mostly destroyed, like chiseling tools for some fine, filigree chiseling and that kind of thing. Um, but you don't see anything else of any value in here.
And nothing else like moving or anything like that.
No, otherwise the room's empty. And there's no items on any of the benches.
Alright, I'll just slowly close the door back.
Okay.
So we've already determined that it agreed that we could go ahead and take the items that it's guarding on the benches back to the mages, and we're going to deliver a thing. So what are the items on the benches that we need to grab?
A mace and a breastplate.
Yeah, I would say we should.
And it's really breastplate
We should
armor.
grab everything and go back and discuss with the mages what to do next.
Yeah, I kind of want to ask him about if he knows anything about the flame.
Are you asking him, or you just kind of want to ask him?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask him about it.
He says, "Oh, flame's the whole reason why mages work here. It's what they use to enchant everything. They hold items in the flame, cast their spells, and it's what they use to help create all their magic items."
Okay. Well, I think we're gonna go take the items back to the mages. So, keep doing good work.
This work not good. This work's stupid. Me been here way too many years. Ask him to release me. I should be released. There's nothing here for me to guard.
Absolutely.
Tertius, you can roll an Arcana check since I think you're the only one who's skilled in Arcana.
I'm half proficient.
Fair enough. You can roll too. Roll me Arcana checks. Okay. The only thing that you guys understand is that yes, the flame is this kind of a magical font, and then yes, potentially putting something in it could cause an effect to occur, but you have no idea what that effect would be. Okay, you guys go and reach over
Times New Roman.
What?
It's a font, so it's probably either Times New Roman or Helvetica.
Oh, gotcha. So you guys go and pick up the items?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll pick up the items as we head out.
Let's pull the door back closed.
I think we should have a discussion about. We could go back in there and tell him that um, the wizard said his services are no longer needed.
Do you leave the sound
Just so we don't have to
silence, or
worry
are you
about
dispelling
it.
silence?
Nadia hasn't done anything yet, so Nadia's out of the sound wave now. She pulls up here.
I'm gonna say you guys are all up here to talk.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. We move out of the way.
He mentioned that he was from another plane, and so that's
Right.
my only concern.
Yeah, but if we release him, he'll probably go back to that plane, and then he won't be here anymore. And I haven't seen any reason outside of his dental hygiene to eliminate him or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to track this wizard down first before we decide to do anything with him, because he seems.
I'm getting the feeling that the wizard isn't around.
Yeah,
Nadia's going to go. Nadia's going to be like,
assumption.
there's no wizard around. These wizards are dead. They just, this thing, they left it, and it's following its pattern. It's could have been 50 years, 100 years, who knows how long it's been.
Right, and if anybody is going to use this mine in the future, especially you're going to use the brazier in the future, we'll need to get rid of the spectator anyway. The easy way to get rid of him is just tell him, yeah, he's released. Let him go home.
Okay, I can go do that.
I'll walk in with you just in case we do something.
So Nadia's going to go, I'm no expert in magic, but kind of guessing that it's a little bit more than just saying you're released.
Yeah.
Arcana rolls from
It's again, she said
Tertius and Evander. Tertius not really used to summoning otherworldly beings. Evander, from just being a bard and some of his castings, said, well, sometimes it just is. It's a kind of a verbal agreement, and I mean, it could work.
Okay.
Nadia shrugs and is like,
Yeah,
I'll have my bow out. I'll be ready to shoot.
Yeah, just I'm just gonna basically pry the door open and just be like, hey, just talk to him. You're released.
Do you want me to leave that silence up, and are you gonna go in, or do you want me to take the silence?
You can take the silence down.
Yeah, you can take the silence down.
All right, so Nadia will let the silence down. She's gonna, wherever you guys are going, she's gonna be right behind you. And I'm gonna have my bow out, and I'm gonna be ready to cast a darkness right on top of this thing.
Okay. Bogner walks right up to it, and once again, let's see. You get two eye stalks looking at you, Bogner, since you're right up close.
And I'll just be like, hey, we just talked to him. You're released. You're good to go.
He says, are you sure? Give me a deception check. So he asks, are you sure? And you say,
yeah. You're good to go, man.
I am so happy. And with that, just vanishes. Boop.
Awesome. Immediate perception check on, anything worth of value in this room.
The only things that are of value is, now that you've got a look, this is the plate, the breastplate. Looks pretty cool. The mace has a religion symbol on it. if anybody wants to give me a religion check. Dalen, you know that it's a Lathander is the religious symbol on the mace, who is a god of light.
Okay. Do you guys want to take a long rest in here?
Yeah, I'd be good for that.
Tardius is fine with that. He wanted to take a long rest earlier.
And that way, if any mages show up,
We'll just say that the creature had to go take a pee, and we're watching the flame form.
Yeah. So the mace has the symbol of Lathander, and god of dawn. The head is the mace is shaped like a sunburst, and is made of solid brass. Looks pretty fancy.
Well, we'll do the normal watch order while we're doing our long rest. Ogner, then Dalen, then Nadia. Are we able to determine whether either of these items that are of value are also of magic?
Does somebody have? I think does Tertius or Evander have detect magic and want to do a?
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
They do, but
then they can do a ritual.
Thing where it's like
an Arcana check.
Sure. Or the Arcanas and stuff.
Sure. So I'll give choose 2 people, 1 for each item, and give me an Arcana check.
I'll have Tertius. And
for which item?
For which item?
Tertius for the mace. Who else wants to check on the mace?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Okay, so you're doing that before we take a rest.
Well, yeah, he can do that as a ritual.
Yeah.
Just 10 minutes.
Well, still before the rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before the rest.
Doesn't use a spell slot when he does ritual casting. Nothing else in here other than the font and the flame is magical.
But the detect magic doesn't tell you what something is, does it?
It gives you a basic understanding of what kind of enchantment, or not enchantment, but magical.
Right.
What's the right word I'm looking for?
Like the school of magic, evocation,
right.
or
right. So
I could also cast identify and still be good.
Yeah. So the flame has an enchantment on it, as well as a transmutation kind of effect between those two. The armor, of course, a protection enchantment. The mace has also a. Let's see what the other. Also has an enchantment on it.
That's just really going to tell you the school, right?
Correct.
It doesn't tell you what it is. So the Arcana check, though, if it succeeds, should tell you what it is, right?
Yes, it will. It will help give you better understanding, depending upon how well you succeed.
All right. So Tertius checked the mace.
Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. It's a +1 mace. In fact, here I will go into the mace here, and I will ID it. It is called Lightbringer, and it glows as bright as a torch when the wielder commands it to, and it can do an extra 1d6 radiant damage to undead creatures.
I already have the magic sword, and I think that's a simple weapon, so more people can use that one, right?
Correct.
So I'm okay with anyone else taking that one. Might be good for Bogner if the damage is the same as his hammer, just because it adds magic and the undead damage.
Who is looking at the breastplate?
Well, you said that two
Bogner
could look at
has
each,
it.
right? So
No,
Bog-
one can look at each. 2 people could
Oh,
check it out.
well, Evander has been doing the spells, so I would probably say our trusty dwarf would be the best person to look at the armor.
All right, let's see. Let me do something here.
I'm AFK for just a sec.
I'm reburying also.
So Bogner, I'll say, I'll give you a +2 to an Arcana check. Oh wow, you guys. So you can see on the breastplate that's got a gold dragon motif worked into its design. It's really good, well made. As a smith, a dwarven smith, you know that this is enchanted with like a +1 effect, for armor. But you've seen similar runes on the plating work that gives you a sense that it'll grant you advantage to saving throws against breath weapons that are dragons.
Very interesting. I'll let the rest of the group know that. So,
And it is dragon card in the party sheet.
okay, so who is this more closely sized for?
Say that again.
Who would fit in the armor better?
It's just kind of medium-sized humanoid at the moment.
It says it was created for a human hero of Neverwinter.
Right. So, I mean, for somebody of Bogner's, stockiness, it might be a little of a tight fit. But magic items have that funny way of just kind of, adjusting themselves.
Why do I feel like I hear a recorder every time you're talking?
I don't know. I don't think I have anything going.
Is there a push to talk notification beep that's happening or something?
I don't know. It sounded like I heard one of my children on a recorder. I'm like, oh, God, please, I'm having a flashback.
Elizabeth is playing her flute downstairs.
Okay, so it is something that I'm hearing in the background.
Yes. I'm like, recorder? What? I don't... Nope, yeah, she was playing downstairs.
Well, so would this Dragon Guard be an improvement on what Bogner or Dalen are wearing?
Let's see. Well, it's in the partial sheet. If I open it,
the AC base is 14.
14 +1 for the magic, because it's magic property, and then bonus dex is 2. And let me double check that and make sure that normal breastplate isn't a AC base of 13.
Our plate is 8. Regular plate is 18.
but you have a deck space of 0, right?
Right.
So this would be a net equal. 14 plus 1 plus a deck space of 2, if you have a deck space of 2, would give you an equal basis.
No, that's 17. Plate gives me 18.
Oh, you're okay. You're right, but you do get the ace, the breath weapon.
Yep, you get advantage to breath weapon saves from dragons.
Right. So regardless, it would be a drop of at least 1 for each of you. Nadia obviously has no desire for it.
Yeah, Evander's light armor only.
Tertius could wear it, but I'm not sure if he could.
It's metal. It's medium
That's
armor,
why
but it's metal.
It's metal.
Well, he has medium armor as a available, but he can't wear anything made of metal. So
Right.
All right.
Well, he can. He just can't cast.
the note actually says druids will not wear armor or use shields made of metal.
Yes.
So while he can, he says he will not.
So next long rest,
we'll drag it along.
We'll bundle them up in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's kind of like
Take the items. If anything, you can sell them, right?
yeah.
So you've pushed a long rest to us.
Nope. Let me go do that now. So if you guys will take a long rest. Bang.
And we have our normal watch order. Bogner for the first 2 hours, Dalen for the second 2 hours, and Nadia for the remaining 4.
All right, Bogner, roll me a d20. You're fine, actually. So rest is uneventful. Probably.
Was anyone going to take start using Lightbringer?
What was that?
Was anyone going to take Lightbringer to use?
I mean, Tertius would take Lightbringer, but he never tries to be up on the front line. He can definitely use that. Nadia has no interest in it. So Tertius would take it if nobody else is going to take it. Otherwise, he would defer to our frontline guys if they want to use it.
Sure.
Well, I mean, if anything, yeah, that's true.
What's true?
I was actually, I mean, in general, I'd agree. I was wondering because I don't know what the hammer does for Bogner, but I already have a magic weapon. However, if I can't remember if skeletons are resistant to slashing weapons, it might be good for me to use against skeletons, but I don't know that I necessarily need to use it full time.
They're not. They are vulnerable to bludgeoning, but they are not resistant to slashing.
Okay, then yeah, that's not that big a deal to me. But that is a great weapon against skeletons, is all I know.
Oh yeah, bludgeoning and radiant. Yeah,
It's good against undead, regardless. So if you feel like there's a value for you to have the 1d6 plus 1d6, so it's a 1d6 damage plus 1d6 radiant against undead, then I would leave it to one of our fighter types to use. Nadia has no
I
interest.
guess
She's not going
be
to.
better off for Dalen to use it then.
So if we want to say Dalen was going to be the one that would have it, that's fine. Otherwise, Tertius will take it.
I mean, because my Warhammer, while it doesn't have any plus to hit by itself, I mean, it's 1d8 plus 4 bludgeoning, so
Right.
it's effectively I think that's effectively the same or better than what the Mace was getting.
Right.
About. So, Dalen, you want to drag it to you and have it as your secondary backup weapon?
Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, our meat shields should be the ones that, you know, we're trying to make sure that they can maximize their effectiveness. Okay.
And if Heyman is trying to do a more melee style bard, then once he finally rerolls his own, if he's got better hit points than what Evander does, then we can reconsider that. But given that he's a little squishy, I don't think I'd want to have him try and be frontline at this point.
I would agree. Hell, I don't want Nadia to be frontline, but, you know, kind of in my job description. All right, so you know we've done our rest. Dalen's gone ahead and said he's going to grab the mace. We're all happy with that. And we're like, okay, well, you know, where do we want to go? So we know, you know, that we could go back to the furnace room and head south. And there was some, you know, we heard some sounds, but we really don't know what was going on down there. Or we can head down the stairs where we hear the waves lapping. You know, at least that's what it sounds like to us. Or we could go back to the furnace room and then jump down into the like aqueduct and follow the aqueduct around.
I say we just go with what's closest and go downstairs to the room that's making the wave sounds.
Nadia's good with that. I mean, we've been, you know, we kind of took care of the skull. She's fine with going down the stairs.
Well, I'll let
Tertius
you know
is fine with it as well. So any argument from our meat shields?
Nope.
So I added the
Yeah.
+1 bonus for your Lightbringer, so the attack is correct.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because, yeah, I was trying to figure out what. Oh, that's right. That effects +1 is the gauntlets that I'm wearing.
Yes.
All right. So Nadia has positioned herself to continue her scouting. Tertius is bringing up the rear.
Hey, Jared, the other thing I was going to add is it didn't seem like we attracted any attention when we were beating on that skull in the room with all the bodies and stuff. So
I'm assuming we didn't, Kevin, and the only reason why I'm assuming that is because we didn't get any random encounters while we did a long rest. So, I mean, that's a maybe it's a bad assumption, but I mean, we just rested for 8 hours and nothing came and tried to jump us.
So,
do you want to take a quick look back in that room before we head down here?
Hey, if you want to, I have no problem doing that. I'm fast. I can do that.
Yeah, why don't you just go make sure that there's nothing
Sure.
that's going to be coming up behind
So,
us.
Jim, before we head down these stairs, Nadia will head down to this other room that had the double doors that had been frozen with where we were beating on the skull. Just make sure that there's nothing down that direction.
Okay.
And also,
You want me to-
also the forge area.
You guys.
Well, Nadia will go ahead and go down to the other. Somebody else should go back and look at the forge area, unless you want me to be doing double duty.
So you guys go down and you can see why this is called Wave Echo Cave now.
We haven't gone down yet.
Well, I'm kind of advancing. You're going
Okay.
to
So
eventually.
you're saying there was nothing that we encountered.
Correct. So
Okay.
what you have is a narrow ledge that overlooks, the cavern. Water surges in every couple minutes. That's the rhythmic boom or the crashing of waves that you hear. It's pretty regular intervals. the ledge is 20 feet above the water, and when the wave comes in and crashes in, it rises up to 15 feet, so it's just 5 feet below the ledge before it then recedes. You get the feeling that there's a much larger cavern out beyond what you guys can see.
Okay. Is there a reason why it does not seem to? Oh wait, so like we already know that the stream was diverted at a other time, right? So that
Correct.
stream when we're okay, so that's why it doesn't come through that aqueduct anymore.
Right, and in fact, you can see that there's the ragged path that you saw before.
Okay. So Nadia will kind of pull up to the edge. How high is the ceiling here?
About 10, 15 feet in places. It's definitely not. It's not cut or shaped.
All right. So as we get the group together, and I'm just moving Evander up with the rest of us. You want to move in, Bog, just so now you'll be like, okay, so this is obviously where the sound's coming from. There's two entry points up here. Do you guys want me to go go look at any of this stuff? Do you want me to go search, or do we want to just say that stuff's okay, and we go back and now kind of look at that other area that we did not go into down to the south?
I would scout it real quick first.
Oh, you mean out this way?
Yeah, out the two waterways. Yeah.
So as the water comes in and out, it's fairly when the water comes in, it's like shoving all the way through. Like if there was something in those canals, you'd be shot out, right?
Okay.
And then when the water recedes, you'd get sucked out wherever it goes. It's pretty violent.
Okay.
So it's not really a path that you could traverse very easily.
I didn't understand that. I thought it was a larger area. So.
Right.
Yeah. Why don't?
Then I would say let's go back. We want to go head back to the forge room, and then we want to head south.
Yeah, let's go do that.
That's Nadia's choice. So everybody else on board?
Yep.
All right.
I love that Bogner's cockeyed.
They both are.
Yeah, how did I rotate that?
There, I fixed you. Fix both of you.
You hover mouse over and
mouse over and mouse wheel.
All right, Evander, get your butt up here.
I moved him.
Actually, Nadia should be over here, right? Okay. All right, and my the heights here.
Again, 6 feet. Now that you're going back into this worked hallway.
All right. So Nadia will pull up to this this location here. Again, kind of scraping that quarterstaff ahead of her, making sure there's no traps.
Okay. Stealth and
wants to see what's
investigation while you're,
sure.
away.
Investigation or perception? You've always had me do perception before.
Do perception. You're right, because you're just kind of looking.
You got to remind me if you want them in the tower, because I wasn't thinking about that.
That's fine. Okay, so for this room, as you kind of come down, this looks like it served as a banquet room and a meeting area, and maybe even a tavern or a mead hall for the miners here.
Can I see to the east more in the room where I'm at?
Oh yeah, sure. Let me just pan.
Right, that area is bugging me.
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Nope, I just didn't pan right to uncover it. Not trying to, worry you. Steep
And what about
escarpment.
south?
Hmm?
Isn't there a passageway leading off to the south that might be a little bit more revealed with the 60 feet?
Yep, that's about what you get for 60 feet, I think.
Okay.
So what you have here is steep escarpments seem to divide this large cavern. You see a high ledge on this end, and then the single stairs coming down into the middle. There are carved stone chairs. Stone stairs are what lead down into the central area. You can see two large tables with a pair of old braziers. On the eastern end here is just a smaller table. And there's skeletal remains of dozens of dead warriors, dwarves, gnomes, orcs, a couple ogres. Just the fighting that took place here was probably some of the heaviest in terms of melee.
Okay. Nadia, seeing this and knowing what we've gone through previous, is going to motion Dalen forward and ask him to, do his little trick and see if he's able to determine if all this stuff is truly dead, or is there, are we walking into another ambush? I don't know if you're close enough, Dalen, whether you need to get closer or whatnot.
30 or 60 feet? Okay. And I assume you two are going forward since you have dark vision, so you don't need any light.
Yeah, so Nadia will pull forward. I mean, I think everybody will keep following, but Nadia definitely wanted Dalen up next to her to, be like, because I didn't want to get a. And is this cavern, now that we're in here, is this also just 6 feet, or now we get back into a natural?
Yeah, so where you are up on top, you probably got 10 feet from this high escarpment. The escarpment itself is 10 feet from the bottom, so you got 20 to 25 feet from the bottom.
Once we get in, okay, gotcha. Okay.
I'll get to the bottom of the stairs and do divine sense at that point.
That was what I was asking about.
Okay, and you said 30 or 60? What was it?
I think it's 60.
Okay.
I'll check.
Let's do 60 there.
Yeah, 60.
You
Celestial
do not...
fiend or undead. It's not behind total cover.
Just kind of going in all directions here. You do not sense any undead or fiends.
All right. So I have it for a turn.
You got it for like 12 seconds or so.
It basically, yeah, I'll walk into the room, continuing to detect, just so we can see farther and see if there's more farther into that area.
All right, let me uncover some more here. So you can see another escarpment on the far side with some stairs coming up. And Evander, Bogner, Tertius, you come in. Tertius, I assume you have your produce flame up as usual.
Produce flame, but Tertius was waiting until, he's not going down the steps. He's sitting at the top of the escarpment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Evander probably can't go too far beyond where Tertius is, unless he has his own light source.
Yeah, I have a candle, and then I'm using Mage Hand to project it out 30 feet so I can see.
Okay, let me do this here. Okay. Okay, so this is what you guys are seeing. Bogner, let me clear out some more of that southern path for you. So you can see some shaped pathways that head south, kind of towards where you've been before.
So based on Wagner's knowledge of dwarven architecture and all that kind of the stone and being underground, is he able to determine if any of these other passages kind of meet up?
I mean, he guesses. Oh, in fact, I think you would over here.
I'm guessing the north one we're gonna know.
Yeah, because you would have walked around and you would have seen the stairs coming down. At least noted them without walking back there.
So, wasn't there a noise coming from those stairs?
Well, this,
there was.
yeah, this room we heard noises in this area.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is like, would we realize that this is kind of the general area that where we were hearing that from earlier?
Yes.
Do we still hear those noises? And are they?
Oh,
are we able
perception
to
in the
perception?
tower.
Okay.
No, none of you seem to hear anything at this moment.
Okay. Well, Nadia is going to look to Bogner, you know, as kind of the which way do you think we should go? Because I mean, you're the dwarf, you know, the architecture a little bit better. What do you think? So she's a scout. She's going to be looking at Bogner as the expert, and that's who she's going to be following advice from.
I'm going to point up to the set of stairs to the west.
Okay, so Nadia will go ahead and move around. She'll actually she's not going to go up the stairs. She's going to go up the escarpment with the slippers, and so she's going to come up right around there.
Okay, so
I'm going to be stealthy, and I'm going to try to look over the edge of the escarpment before I actually clear it.
Okay, so as you come up to that escarpment and you kind of climb up, okay, the escarpment's not loose, so you don't have any problems finding purchase. But as you do come up there, you do see standing a number of undead.
Okay, so
they look like zombies, but they're a little bit different.
Am I still on the escarpment, or am I? I mean, I'm going to be looking over. You know, I'm trying to be stealthy. I'm doing all the stuff I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
So, did I make it all the way up at this point, or do I see these before, as I peek over the edge?
Yeah, I'll say by the time you crest, you're halfway over. Your torso's above the escarpment.
Okay.
When you notice them. Let me do a quick check.
I'm really right there. I'm really right.
You're really
there,
right there. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me see.
So I've seen them.
You see two turn their heads towards you. One in this back here, and one over in this knot of them. So two have seen you, the other two have not. So let's roll initiative.
Before we roll initiative, I mean, I'm going to ask the guys, and you can determine whether or not they can do this or not. Are you moving with me at all, or are those the positions you're staying in? Tertius would have at least come down here.
Yep.
And then Bogner, would you have been staying in that position, or would you have been moving up towards where I was going? Because you were the one that directed me.
Or guarding the hall. Who knows?
Well, I'm going to say that I want to move up, but I want to tell either Tertius or Evander to make sure that they keep an eye on, keep an eye on the hall.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. So Tertius will take that direction. That's not a problem.
Okay, move yourself 25 feet, Bogner.
This is a brazier right where I just moved. Right?
Yep.
Jim?
Yep.
I'm standing by. Okay, so
It's not lit.
can I
It's
light
right
that?
there.
Can I light that brazier with a produced flame? Out of curiosity.
On your next turn, sure.
Okay. I just didn't know if it was possible, if there was fuel in it or not.
I'm going to say that there's some fuel around it that you can easily, as an action, toss it in and then light it with your produced flame. Sure.
Okay. All right. So now you wanted initiatives, right?
Initiatives, yeah. These guys look hungry.
Well, if they've already got arms they're chewing on, why are they going to even care about us?
They don't taste very good. I wish there was a way for me to be able to go in and unselect.
Unselect what?
So I'd like to be able to share and then unshare images.
I can unshare these.
Okay. So we've done the
There we go.
initiative. Looks like you've got a couple of ghouls. I don't know if either of those are the ones that saw me. So I don't know if your other ghouls actually call out.
All right. So we've got initiative by area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this ghoul does not notice. This ghoul was the one that did. So he kind of does a hard, a yell out hiss, in as feral as it is, and comes running around this stalagmite. And it's going to use its action to dash all the way up to you. But that's all it can do. All right, Nadia. I'm going to say, since you're half on, half off, you're at a disadvantage to attack it.
I'm not going to disadvantage. I'm going to use my action to disengage.
Fair enough.
Okay, and I'm going to jump up on the table. I know, you want me to do an acrobatics or an athletics check, right?
Nah. You're not doing it with flourish. You're just kind of hopping up there.
Yep.
And there's nothing
And
really
then
on the
I'll-
table, so you're fine.
I've got my bow, and I pull my bow out, just, obviously being ready if that thing's going to chase me down the escarpment.
Okay.
I call that my turn. And I will, as I'm running down, I'm going to tell everybody, undead. I'm just going to say undead. I don't know if I know. Do I know what these are?
I'll give you a nature check. Evander, you do not see anything.
Okay. Awesome.
There is
I'm
no
gonna
light
do
source
my-
over there that will be able to show you anything. No, you know they're undead, but they could just be a different kind of zombie, maybe.
Okay. So as I run back, I'm just going to say undead. I'm just going to get, we got undead. And I get out here and I'm pressed to go.
I'll be like, that's great, bow at the ready for anything that comes out of, the dark.
So where's your mage hand with your candle? And how much does a candle give as a radius?
5 feet bright, 5 feet dim. I mean, it's enough that he won't bump into walls.
Well, but so it wouldn't be any more than 10 feet in front of him. So
Right.
like if he was where he's at, it would be like 10. It would be right directly between him and I. As far as
Be like that.
Yeah, if he had it directly in front of it. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
But I thought he said it was holding it like 30 feet out.
That's why I was asking, because 30 feet out would mean he sees it way ahead, but he can't walk. He's gonna
Amon,
bump
so
into
what would you
shit.
do? I'm assuming you would have brought it next to you as you came down the stairs.
Yeah, I mean, I would have placed it on the table and then pulled out my bow and been at the ready for anything that comes.
Okay, we'll say put it right there.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna ready an attack action and then pass turn.
All right, now that this one's been alerted. It really is just running this way. It doesn't know. Until it actually gets about to there, then it actually sees Dalen. Well, let me actually do this. So I would have gone to there first, and I'll say he sees Dalen once he gets... Well, you guys are in light, though, aren't you? Okay. So he would have seen it.
No. Dalen's not in light.
No, but you
Nadia,
and
Wagner.
Bogner are, because you're in candlelight.
I think they have dark vision.
They do.
They do, but it's only 60 feet.
Okay.
So rather than, because they're in candlelight, I'm just giving him a little bit of a better advantage to see them, especially since you're on a table. So instead of having to get right up next to the escarpment to see down, you can kind of see a little bit further out.
Oh, I jumped up on the table on purpose. So.
Yeah. That's as far as you can get. He's running flat out. Dalen?
All right, I'm going to hit him with the mace.
Okay. He did not get close enough to you, so if you had a held action, it didn't trigger. But you can step up and whack him.
He's only 5 feet away.
Yeah, I'm stepping up. I think that motion is in there.
So I have, oh, you miss. So I've added under the items the radiant damage effect. So go ahead and apply that when you, okay, perfect. All right, you miss. All right, cool, 14. It also sees or is drawn by Nadia, but Dalen's in front of it. This ghoul runs all the way around. He's done. Wagner? This time you can't tell Dalen to, go hide behind a corner while you step up and take all the glory.
No, but I'm hoping I can close the distance.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, no problem.
You got, what, 30 feet movement?
25. Yeah, you can get to the right or the left of Dalen, no problem.
I'll move up to the right.
Okay.
And I'll take a swing at Ghoul 14.
You hit.
I have smacked it.
All right. Some pretty good damage. This one runs around the other side. Gets to there, and let's see. How intelligent are these things?
More intelligent than zombies.
Only slightly. Oh,
They're
hungrier than now.
Just said that they were more.
literally leaps off. Gets to about there. Takes 2 points of damage for falling. But does not fall prone. Keeps its feet. But that doesn't get any closer. Actually, I'm going to move him back just a hair. Doesn't get any closer than that. Nine. Runs up. Runs back and around. That's as far as he can go. All right, Tertius.
So is it a free action for me to start this thing on fire, or am I gonna?
No, I'll say it's a free action for you to grab kindling material and some other stuff and dump it in there, because you're just kind of picking up an object and drop it in, but it'll be an action to use produce flame to ignite it.
All right. So I will go ahead and I'll drop whatever it is I need to get into that brazier, and I will try to enact produce flame on the brazier to light it up.
No problem. It's mundane material, and it doesn't, whoosh, but by the end of a couple seconds, it's burning brightly. And
so
that's what you can see.
Now my visual range in its entirety.
So it's really like that. 20 feet bright and 20 feet dim.
So I can see Dalen, I can see Bogner at the edges of my vision.
You can see
a
ghoul.
I can see this little ghoul 15 that.
And you can see the very shadowy outlines of stuff in front of those two. Yeah.
Okay, not well, but I definitely know there's something there.
There's something there.
And this stuff that's this rubble and stuff. Is there anything I need to worry about navigating, or can I move up?
No, I'll say it's easy for you to walk around.
Okay, so I'm going to move up there, and that will be the end of my turn.
All right. Can I see him now?
You should be able to see the same stuff that Tertius is.
Yes, I will say you can see Ghoul 15.
Okay.
It'll be a -2 because you're shooting through Nadia's legs.
All right, sounds good.
So go ahead and target Ghoul 15 if you want to take a shot.
Well, but it's not his turn.
He had a held action.
Ah.
Very nice. Boom. Crossbow bolt splits Nadia's legs just below the knees. Kind of almost perfectly even between the two legs. Drives itself into the creature. Okay, Ghoul 3. Ghoul 3 knows now, finally. He's like, where's everybody running? He comes all the way down. And he's done. Ghoul 16. He's just kind of filling a gap here. But that took him... That took him
was
just
40.
35, so he had a dash to get there. All right, Nadia.
Nadia seeing these things come into range, gonna move up and gonna target the ghoul straight ahead of her.
Yeah, you hop down off the table, twirling your staff as you approach. Whack. Some decent damage.
I'll try to hit it with a foot in the head.
You do. Nice little crescent kick.
Don't drop it. And I figure I had two good rolls. I'm gonna try to Fury of Blows it.
Okay. Little key point and give it another unarmed strike.
Oh, and I miss.
Oof.
Any
As you-
negative roll for me or no?
No, I mean, I'm going to say that, was it a punch or a kick?
Let's see. I said I was going to try to kick it in the head, so it would have been, well, we would have been a roundhouse followed by a back kick if I'm thinking strategically.
Okay. I was thinking you were going to do like a crescent kick with like a spinning back kick. But either way, you know, you.
Oh, because what I was thinking is I came in with the staff, followed it up with a roundhouse from the left, step down, turn, spinning back kick.
Okay. So we'll say that you go to, step down, turn and do a spinning back kick, but you lost in the moment. You spun to your left, back left and around kind of counterclockwise, and you realized, oh crap, I'm going to crack Dalen right in the back of the head, and you pull your foot back right before you do it. Just chose the wrong spinning direction.
Sure.
All right.
And that'll be the end of Nadia's turn.
All right, now we're up to Evander. All right. So you're going to climb up on the table. I'm going to say that's as far as you can get.
Okay. And then I'm going to cast Sleep.
Okay. So go ahead and roll 5d8. I assume you're doing it at level 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so just roll 5d8. There we go. That's 4. Give me one more. Oh, nice. So that's 27. Okay. What do you point me an arrow to wherever you're centering this sleep spell? Or just want to tell me a ghoul that you're centering it on?
I'm going to center it on the one right in front of Wagner.
Okay. That one falls asleep and falls to the ground.
Awesome. And that will be it.
Okay. Check off your level 1 spell there. And then complete your turn.
Is it 4? Okay, yeah, it's 14 that's asleep.
Yep, 14 is one that's asleep. All right, the school is going to take a claw attack against you, Dalen. And he's going to scrape off your armor. And you're up.
All right, I will try to hit him again with the mace.
You hit. Go ahead and apply your radiant effect.
And I drag it to myself, right?
I've set it as self. Just click on it, and it'll auto go to you too. There you go. Nice. All right. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Or no, this one's unconscious and prone. Snooze fest. 15.
I didn't realize you could sleep undead.
In this one you can.
That's definitely a change from the 4 rule set to the 5 rule set.
Yeah. Let's see. So this one's going to claw attack against Nadia. Aw, he misses. Nadia.
Don't sound so happy about that.
Nadia dodges out of the way. All right, Bogner. Target rich environment. In fact, the one that you were beating on before, or attempting to, fell asleep right in front of you.
All right, well, I will turn my attention to another one then.
You hit. Good damage too. Goal 7. All right. He's feral, so he's going to come over here. I'm going to say he's not going to get advantage because that ghoul is focused on Dalen. The other ghoul is sleepy, so he's just got a regular claw attack. And he's going to miss, raking across your armor. Ghoul 9. That's plugged. He's going to run around this way. And a claw attack against Nadia. Oh, he connects though. For not too bad a damage. But you feel something coursing through your body. And you kind of feel your muscles along that left side where he raked you kind of tense up a little bit. But then it relaxes and you're able to shake it off. All right, Tertius.
Okay, so Tertius can see Ghoul 9 and Ghoul 15, right?
Yeah, no problems. Ghoul 15 is looking pretty rough. Saw that Nadia, laid a pretty good hurting on it.
Give me a flaming sphere token.
Absolutely. Boosh.
I'm going to set the flaming sphere right between the 2, 15 and 9. I'm more trying to hit 15, but if I can hit 9 as well, I'm definitely going to do that.
Give me a percentage chance, and we'll see if you get 9. And 15 will be a done deal.
15 will be a done deal.
No, they're not
That's
quite
fine,
close
Matt.
together. Go ahead and
That's fine.
roll a save and then
Save and then
damage. And that ghoul burns, takes some fire damage, and falls down. And I'm going to move it back here just so it's 5 feet away from Nadia.
I figured that that's a 5-foot square, so okay.
Yeah.
I'll end my turn then.
All right. Claw against Bogner. No, I didn't want to do damage. That's silly. All right, let me go back here. You did not take any damage.
Yet.
Nope. Missed. Yeah, you might. 16. There we go. He's going to claw attack. He's going to miss. Nadia?
Well, the one that hit me, I'm going to rotate and face.
You will strike it.
Not very well, though. But I'm going to do a follow-up. Again, I'm going to try to kick it. This time, since I was... So the first time I was going with a left kick. This time, since I'm rotating left, I swung around with my staff, and now I'm trying to roundhouse with the right foot.
You hit. Dalen is not in the path of your boot.
But knowing that I missed the last one, I'm a little leery, and so I'm going to hold my key in case I need it later.
All right. All right, Evander.
So, Evander, you can see Ghoul 9 and Ghoul 7, it appears, based on the light source. And actually, that flame sphere, would that flame sphere add any light source? Would he be able to see Ghoul 4?
Yes.
Would he be able to see Ghoul 14?
It's a good question. Let me see.
I'm just curious because the light source, dark vision gives us an advantage, and I never think about it until...
Oh, yeah.
to
In
do it.
fact, it says here it sheds bright light for 20 feet and dim for another 20 feet. So
So you can see
this whole
everything.
room is lit up now. So I'm going to get rid of that pointer since the whole room's lit up now.
That's fine. That's why I was asking, because I'm like, what can he see?
All right, so I'm going to shoot that one with my crossbow.
You do. You hit. You damage it. Kathunk.
And then I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration on Nadia.
So that the Predator movie was they had some good jokes in there as well. My daughter, I think I told you last week, Jim, based on the trailer, they had that one joke that was if your mom's vagina was a video game, it'd be rated E for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That was my daughter's favorite part of the whole damn movie. That made me really sad. She laughed her ass off.
Well, what are you going to do but worry?
Yeah, I know.
All right. Dalen, you and this ghoul are just kind of trading shots back and forth. It's going to try to claw you again. Oh, it went from a 20 to a 14 and misses. No crit for you. All right. You block it with your shield. It's like a LARP battle. Bang, 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 bang.
All right, I'll hit him again with the mace.
All right. You hit. Oh, that's what I need to do. You don't have to reapply it. Hold on.
Oops.
Go ahead and roll your damage, and then I'll remove it and fix something. Oh, wow, great damage. And you drop it.
And I am going to move. Actually, hold on a second. Maybe I won't.
There we go. Now it'll remove itself next time. You're not moving? Oh, you are moving. Okay. You have no problems walking all the way around. The sleeping ghoul doesn't do anything.
All right. So Bogner has advantage on 3 at least. And that's
All right, 14. Still sleeping. All right, Bogner. You do have advantage against Ghoul 3.
Let's see if it helps.
What happened there?
Oh, I grabbed the wrong dice.
So click advantage and then give us an attack roll.
Go to bed.
You hit. Oh, it was almost a 7. All right. Where is Ghoul 7? He's over there. All right, well, let's see. 1. But Dalen rushed him and ran all the way around, so we'll give him a 2, 3, 4. Yep, he's going to turn around and face Dalen. He was having no luck hitting Bogner, and he's having no luck hitting Dalen either. All right, this ghoul, after getting smacked a few times by Nadia, is going to try to the claw. And miss.
And it's going to take some damage.
It will, because it's not smart enough to move out of this area.
Move out of this area.
So dex roll and some fire. Oh, it fails. I have a feeling it's probably going to go up in flame.
Oh,
It does
minimal.
not. Wow. You only needed 3 points to bring it down.
You shouldn't have told me that, but I was going to do this anyway, but you shouldn't have told me that.
That's fine.
So,
Are you going to produce flame it?
Yeah, that was going to be my roll. Was
Yep.
my attack. I'm going to attack it with a produce flame.
All right, see if you hit. If
Not
you hit,
on
it's
hit.
dead.
Not on me
It's
yet.
dead.
It doesn't show as my attack. Did you move it from Ghoul 9 to me, Jimmy, the combat tracker? Ah, there you go.
There we go. All right, so it dies. And bonus action, move your sphere.
Yeah, and I'm going to move the sphere trying to hit Ghoul 16. So I'm going for Ghoul 16. I'm hoping I can hit Ghoul 14 as well. You want a percentile again?
So Ghoul 14 is prone on the floor.
On the floor.
Yep.
All right. Yep, give me a percentile. Nope, not quite good enough.
Okay, so I'm going
But you smack Ghoul 16.
Ghoul
Smack Ghoul
16.
16.
You know, I never gave myself the effect for the flaming sphere. Do you want me to do that now?
No, I don't think they're gonna mob around and come past you, so you're probably okay. And it
Okay.
lasts for like what, 6 minutes or a minute?
Yeah, full minute.
Okay, so I'll just know at round 8 it'll disappear.
Okay.
All right. Another claw attack against Bogner. Gonna miss. Another claw attack against Bogner. It's gonna miss, and it's gonna take some fire damage again. Ghoul 16. All right. Nadia, you're up.
All right, Nadia. I'm gonna pull back that direction.
Yep, no problem.
No problem.
And I'm
You
gonna
have advantage.
roll 7 with advantage. And we'll start with the staff of defense.
Nice critical. Brings it around and happens to find that one part, little bit of testicle that's still viable. Crack.
And I will do the unarmed attack again.
Comes around, lays into it some more.
And I will call that a good attack round.
All right, Evander. Nadia again is beat something down pretty heavily.
I think I just went down.
Yeah, looks like you dropped from the table. Okay. Well, what did you want to do?
I would just shoot one and then just stay up there on the table.
Okay, then I will do a crossbow, hand crossbow against the one Nadia was just beaten on.
Sounds good.
You miss. Dalen, you're up.
Get back in! Get back in!
All right, I'm gonna hit Ghoul 3 with the mace.
Okay,
Yeah, I guess this is advantage.
it is. You hit. Go ahead and give yourself the effect now. And I've set it to disappear on next roll, so it'll go away after you roll damage. Very nice.
It'd be
It's a good
nice if you
mace.
could put that effect on a hit, but I guess with the monster class limitation, that's probably more than the
Yeah,
things
that's the problem is the class limitation.
Yeah, they haven't coded the weapons to have that same capability for effect checks like you can with the effect coding. But yeah, that'd be nice if you could have a if type undead damage 1d6
right.
applied to that weapon all the time, but sadly they don't.
Well, I'm assuming that the coding in the backgrounds of this would take a big hit in having to figure that out and having to look at what the creature type is every single time, and then what the weapon is and what creatures it would do that again. I mean, I think that
Well,
would be
it would be a coding check triggered off of rolling the damage. So it'd be no different than what you have right now with an effect type put in and applied.
No, because that would be an I mean, that there would be code behind it. This thing's already so damn like slow and intensive as far as resource intensive. I think it's a little different.
It could be.
It could be.
With an effect, you're actually saying you're applying it. It's a little bit easier. This is actually having to do a calculation in the background and keep it in its memory. The other one doesn't have to keep it in its memory. It's just like an immediate, oh, here, it's an effect.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they were smart, they'd do it so it would only trigger on a damage roll, so it doesn't have to retain it. No dex save necessary. It automatically fails since it's sleeping. But go ahead and roll some damage, some fire damage for Ghoul 14.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Ghoul 14. Let me take off the other Ghoul. I'm getting good at that, remembering where to put stuff.
Yep, auto fails since it's unconscious and prone. And takes some damage. Yes?
And wakes up.
2 minutes.
I'm assuming it wakes up with damage, right?
Yes, it'll wake up. Yeah, give me a couple minutes.
Less than 2.
Yeah, let me do like 30 seconds here, and then I'll be over there.
Oh, I need to
All
mark a
All right.
spell slot off.
All right, so it automatically took damage, so it automatically removed the unconscious effect. Nice. But that was the end of his turn.
But it's still prone.
It's still prone. All right, Bogner.
You got a prone Ghoul, another Ghoul, and a third Ghoul.
Yep. Prone creatures give you advantage to melee attack them. Just if you're curious.
All right. Yeah, then I'll target number 14. Then.
You'll hit. And you kill it. Cool, 7. Let's see. Nadia struck it. So we'll turn and spin on Nadia. Ooh. Was not expecting that. And some really good damage. Wow. And you too feel the claws rake across your chest, and you feel like you tense up, but you're able to shake it off and relax your muscles.
I'm the only one that has done. I'm the only one that's gotten clawed.
I think so, yeah. All right. Tertius, you're going to slam 16 again?
Yes, I am going to, like you just moved it in the perfect place. I was going to move it there, slam 16.
Okay.
Okay.
And where am I? There it is.
All right.
All right.
That's a bonus action.
Yes.
Tertius
Yes.
is going to move right up next to Nadia.
I'll say you could probably
And-
lean
So you
out
could probably
and produce
lean
Flame
out
Ghoul
and
7
Produce Flame Ghoul 7
with no issues.
No, I'm going to
with no issues.
I'm going to cure wounds on Nadia.
Ah, even better.
Even better.
Very nice.
And then that'll be the end of my turn.
All right. So we'll see if this happens. He totally misses. And Stacy is asking me to do something really quick. So now we've got what, Nadia, Evander, Dalen, Bogner.
Dalen Bogner.
Ghoul 16 takes damage, right?
Yes, he does. And then it'll be on Nadia's turn. So I'm going to let you guys go and roll your attacks and damages against your ghouls if you want. And I need to
I'll
help
do
Stacy real
the
quick.
Tertius save and thing.
Perfect.
It's saved. Took half of max damage. Oh, Nadia just took half of max damage too. Damn it. So we need to tell Jim that he needs to take 6 points off of Nadia.
Okay.
I didn't realize that I still had Nadia targeted.
At least you didn't kill him.
So it's Nadia's turn. All right, Nadia will attack Ghoul 7. Whoops, that's still on Tertius. Nadia is attacking Ghoul 7. I will try to smack it with a Staff of Defense, and I have advantage. Whew, I had a 1 and a 2.
Ouch.
All
right. Apparently, I'm that wound is kicking my ass, so I'm gonna try to hit it with an unarmed attack.
Okay.
You also have
And an automatic miss. Hey, Jim, you need to take 6 points of damage off of Nadia. I had her targeted as well as one of the ghouls on the damage from Tertius.
I see that.
So 6 points. Thank you.
No problem.
No problem.
Nadia having missed both times tragically is like, oh, hell no, I'm not spending any points on that, and calling her turn complete.
She's just on, the center chest,
Oh, the
torso
chest
area's on
wrap,
fire.
that
She's
is-
kind of off
She had to
balance.
fight off.
Yeah. Still
That
has some
paralysis-
muscle paralysis that's not
Yeah,
quite in
exactly.
effect. All right. Evander goes to hop off over here.
Well, isn't Aman back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He moved over there.
Oh, I thought you were controlling him the last time. So when you said he hopped off, I'm thinking that you were still controlling him and doing stuff. Sorry, my bad.
No worries.
Oh no, the game, it crashed.
Yeah, he's back. Second level cure wounds.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I'm gonna call that good.
Nadia feels some of those gashes in her torso start to heal up.
Yeah, hopefully it affects her paralysis. I know she doesn't have any, but apparently she must have with a roll of a 1, a 2, and a 1.
Yeah, you were feeling a little stiff jointed. All right, Dalen comes around, smacks it.
I think I actually screwed that up because I should have had advantage on the second attack as well, and I only did a 1.
Yeah, but thematically it makes more sense. Sometimes the dice tell a really compelling story. All right, Dalen brings his mace down and
Nadia looks over and like, fucking finally.
I'm slow.
I'm just giving you hell.
all right, Bogner,
I know.
you gonna put this last one out of its misery?
I'm gonna try, but I guess I had a question. Since this thing's being targeted by the flaming sphere, would I have advantage on it or not?
No, because it's the flaming sphere is just there. It's not really harassing
Okay.
or anything. But good question. Not that you need it. I think you've hit every single time. All right. You lay into it and you crack it, bring it down. At that point, again, you do that, hyper aware motion, quick check around you, and you don't see any other corpses moving.
All right.
All right. So with that, it is 11:55. Just kind of keeping people aware of our time frame.
Yeah, I was gonna
I think
suggest we have who is it? Evander, like, use a flaming sphere to make sure these things are well torched, while the rest of us maybe search the room, check the one set of stairs there, and then kind of congregate towards the hallway and then call it a night.
Sounds good. Yeah, you guys kind of move some of the bodies around, bring the flaming sphere across them, and the flaming sphere actually ignites them. You can set the other brazier on a light, so the whole area is lit up now with the two braziers in the room. Investigation check shows you really nothing. Some, badly rusted leather and studded leather armors, or rotted, I should say. The weapons themselves are either rusted or bent. Some are broken. Most everything that you've been finding on the dead bodies in here that's not magical, you'd rather just melt down and try to reforge. If you do a detect magic, you don't find anything magical in nature in this room or this area.
Okay. So, I mean, I say that we get that last room and see what's in there, and then I think that.
Well, we've got two doors and plus at least a little hallway area that we still need to check out, so I'm calling it right now.
Okay.
I will show you this. So
Bog,
you know that you've got two rooms here.
So Bog, I have tomorrow off, so I can stay up longer if other people do. Bog, do you care if we continue on, or if you do, we can stop? It's no issue.
If you guys want to carry on, go ahead. But I'm not.
No, absolutely. I totally understand, buddy.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of if Dale and Jim and Eamon want to continue on. If they do, great. If not, we can call it a night.
I'm good to continue.
I'm okay to continue. If you want, I can do just a quick kind of just a quick assessment for what Bogner's going to be missing. Short answer, it's not much. You guys are pretty much in the cleanup stage at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I can continue for a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Well, catch yourself some Z's, Kevin. And if we don't see you sooner, we'll see you next week, man.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Have a good one, Kev.
See you later.
Good one.
All right. Tokens should be unlocked. I'm going to say that.
All right. Nadia will move. No, they're not. They're still locked.
They are.
But Nadia will move up to the corner. Nadia will move up to the corner here.
You didn't let me place myself in empty space.
No.
So I know you already opened that up, so that's what I saw. I don't see any critters there.
No, you don't see any critters.
And we already just established that there was nothing of true value up in that last area, right?
That's correct.
Okay. If you, Jim, you can just keep moving Bogner around.
Yeah, I will. He's just, well, yeah, he'll probably come forward because he knows everything behind you has been cleared out.
Well, I'm asking only because if you need to give somebody else, I don't want access to Bogner. I'm running two already, so somebody else would have to take Bogner.
Dalen, you want to pick him up?
Sure.
All right, well then, let me kick and clear. Okay.
All right, Evander, are you going to hang back between the tables, or are you coming up with Tertius?
I'd move with Tertius.
And did you clear the sphere, Jimmy?
I did.
I did.
All right.
I'm thinking it would have taken you a couple minutes to check everything out and burn the bodies. And... Okay.
All kind of cockeyed now.
All kinds of goofiness.
There we go. Oh, I had just gotten it. All right. So Nadia will move in. She'll move up to the door and do a, she'll listen up there. So she's still doing her stealth stuff. If you want me to stealth, I can. Otherwise, I'm going to see if I can hear anything at this door.
All right. Perception check. Just out in the open's fine. The eastern wall of the chamber you're currently in has just been collapsed into this massive pile of rubble. And the north door actually stands slightly ajar. And you don't hear anything.
All right, so if I'm here, can I see slightly into the room then?
Yeah, it looks like maybe a storeroom. Got kegs stacked up against some of the walls. All of them look to be cracked and split.
Nadia will, if the door will allow, she'll swing the door wide and see what else we have in there.
Yeah, more kegs that are either broken or cracked or split. A quick check seems to let you know that
nothing of value.
Yeah, nothing really of value. This would be kind of a good defensible position, though. But
okay, well, we'll keep that in mind. We'll continue down here. We already knew that there was a door down here. Nadia will listen down at this location.
Give me another perception roll.
That didn't get into the damn window.
Yeah, you don't, yeah, you're not sure. Maybe it was just your heart. Maybe it was, one of the two clankies behind you. You don't think you heard anything, but...
Well, she'll check out the door. Does it look like the door has any locking, or is it unlocked? Does it look like it'd be easy to open?
No, it looks like you could open it. You don't see any lock or anything.
Okay. Well, she'll indicate to the group. I may have heard something, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna go ahead and crack the door.
So when you crack the door, now you hear what sounds like chewing or faint crunching sounds. Like as soon as you allow that air gap, that sound you were able to hear that sound.
So with what I cracked the door, am I able to see anything?
Not really, because you kind of stop. As soon as you got that air gap, you kind of stop. So you just kind of see these. It's a barracks.
Okay. So I'll indicate to the rest of the group that, hey, there's definitely something in here. I hear something, sounds like something's eating. I'll indicate to my meat shields that I'd like them to be up here and that they should open the door the rest of the way and lead the charge. So I'll pull Nadia back.
Okay.
Tertius will continue to follow, pulling up the rear.
Okay. Wagner gonna throw open the door wide as he is wont to do. All right. So you throw it open. Again, bones of half a dozen dwarves and orcs lie strewn about. They're all clad in scraps of armor. This is definitely a barracks for the dwarves for the most part. There's a corroded iron brazier in the middle of the room that's full of coals but not burning. And there are 3 creatures like what you just fought in here.
So
all
after
chewing on
that last
corpses.
battle, were we able to determine what those creatures were?
Nope.
Good night. So I met my
Okay.
patient today that went to Idaho Falls High School.
Roll initiative. Yes.
He went to school with my brother,
Huh.
like a year apart. But when he got on Facebook today, they had like 20 friends in common.
How funny.
He's like,
Huh.
this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy.
That's funny.
So they weren't friends. They were like
Evander.
apart, but
Damn good roll.
it's just a small world.
Yep.
What are you gonna do from behind everybody?
We went to the same high school, and then I saw his age. Like,
Said,
he was 1982. My brother was 19.
Go ahead and move up and
Huh.
actually. Yeah, I'll just move up and then ready a shot.
Okay.
For anybody out there listening to me chatting with my wife, family, that's what I do when I'm trying to DM. Real life. Since you cast the door wide rather loudly and effectively, it comes and charges. Oh, fresh meat with blood. Oh, it hits.
Oh.
And Wagner is able to shake off some of the effects.
Shake it
Some
off.
of the effects.
Shake it off.
And also feels the muscles start to stiffen up, but is able to fight through it.
Wait, so these ones can talk?
Astro.
No.
Okay.
This one has to dash to get up there, so it's done. All right, Nadia, you're up.
Well, I can't get to these guys, so I'm gonna try to shoot it with an arrow. Disadvantage?
Okay.
No,
Or
minus 2.
minus
No,
two?
minus.
That would hit.
That would hit.
I didn't attack it, sorry. So that I've got it targeted now. So that would have hit.
Yep, roll damage. Nice, max
Max.
damage.
Nice, Dan.
That's great. Take it in an
Oh.
Take
eyeball.
it in an eyeball.
Do you mind if I take a
do you
shot
mind?
at one?
Did you have a held action?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, how could he have a held action? He was the first one to move.
Can you move and then hold an action?
Well, you could, but you didn't state you were holding an action.
Yeah, I was readying a shot for the first one that came up.
All right, well, let me move my guy out of the way because Nadia is going to go ahead and move back and out of the way so that she gives Tertius, like, at least visual capability.
Yep, go ahead, minus 2 for your bow shot, Evander, and then it'll be Bogner's turn. So go ahead and target Ghoul 9 I'm on. Actually, it's probably more of like a squish. Oh, also max damage. You guys are definitely becoming ghoul slayers.
No, it didn't actually slay it.
True. All right, Bogner. Let's see if Jeff can continue to roll as
I'm
effectively.
gonna laugh
as
my
Bogner.
ass off if he rolls a 1.
He hits. It dies.
And I will move in to make a little more space for people.
I thought he would. Like maybe up and around or something.
Yeah. I can go all the way around like that, right?
Yeah, 25 feet. Boop, 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 boop. Very nice. All right. Dalen moves in the room, has advantage on the attack. He's liking that mace. I mean, he was starting to get used to Talon, his blade, but so far he seems to be using this mace rather effectively. Nice. Give yourself the radiant. Excellent.
And then can I continue to move up?
Yeah. If I moved you too soon, I apologize.
I think I'll go that far.
All right, you go that far. All right, Tertius, let's see. You really can't see anything. Everything's fully covered behind walls and or too far in the room.
Well, Tertius kind of worrying about jumping into something that he can't see. So he always has that produce flame out. So I can see like what's my distance I can see based on that? I can't remember.
Oh shoot.
10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. So for 20 feet.
Yeah, so you can just see just into the room.
Right, so I've got that. So I know that but I don't know what else is in there. I'm not going to rush in. So Tertius is going to go ahead and is going to, Nadia is still injured a little bit, is going to go ahead and do another healing word.
Instead of a cure wounds?
Cure wounds, I'm sorry. I said
Okay.
healing word.
Okay.
I meant cure wounds. Since I'm within touch range, right?
Yeah, so say you can move in, touch her, move out.
Okay. So I'm going to do a cure wounds on Nadia.
Very nice.
And then I will move up right behind Evander and call that my turn.
All right, nut to butt. All right, this ghoul runs over here. And it's going to claw attack Dalen. And misses. All right, Evander. Steps into the room and says, oh shit, there's a ghoul right here. But you have advantage to attack it. But you miss. And tactically, you think to yourself, you might, well, you could do either way. You could probably move in 5 more feet. Oh, that's right. Roll again. You get advantage. Roll another attack. Just straight up. Much better result. All right, give it some damage. Very nice. So you know Nadia coming up will probably come up, would get advantage, but she'd have to try to attack around the door frame. If you move north 5 feet, you won't have advantage, but then Nadia can move into the room fully and will get advantage without any negatives. Now if you step back like that, it'll get an opportunity attack against you. But if you move directly forward, north, up 1 square, then you won't. All right.
Yeah, basically you can't exit its melee range.
Right. Are you still there, Amin? On Discord? Can we hear you?
I'm still seeing him on, but I'm not seeing his like
Push to
indicator
talk.
lighting
Push
up.
to talk.
Yeah. Well, at least you can hear us. Ah, phone died. Gotcha. Well, next time you'll get a charger and plug it in, right?
or hook up Discord on your computer.
Yeah, I forget there's some reason why I didn't do that. All right, Ghoul 13. Let's see. Bogner beat on it pretty good and then walked around. And then Evander stabbed it in the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go 3, 4. That's against Evander. Swipes a claw.
Didn't like being stabbed in the back.
Just happened to be the last one stabbed, and he connects on Evander. Minimal damage. Oh. But Evander seizes up. His muscles tighten and he freezes. All right, Nadia.
Nadia.
Move in. I'm gonna attack Ghoul 13, assuming I have advantage.
Yes, you do.
All right, so I will try to hit it with a staff of defense.
You hit. And it drops. You've got enough movement. You can get on the other side of that ghoul.
On the other side of that ghoul.
Oh, I figured. And I will try to hit it with advantage.
Unarmed attack, yeah, go for it.
Attack, yeah.
Very nice.
Call it a day.
All right, Bogner.
Let's shoot Jeff. Okay, forgot. Or maybe.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't see anything moving. I'm like, uh-oh.
Maybe. I was giving him another 3, 4, 5 seconds. All right, go ahead and target and swing away.
You have more patience than I do.
Oh, critical. Nice. Bam.
That's a tough ghoul.
Yeah, it is. It's looking pretty rough, though. Dalen, looks like you could probably finish it off if you could just reach out and touch it. You do.
With that undead mace. Oh, yeah.
Bam, and you drop it. Bring it low.
Not even a critical, and it almost does as much damage as Bogner did just because of that damn mace.
Yep. 2d6 every time versus the 2d8.
You're still paralyzed.
He is
He
still
can't-
paralyzed.
Still
Okay, so Evander's paralyzed. You guys look around in the rest of this room. There really isn't anything in here. The barracks are just that. They're just barracks. Nothing else in here.
Okay, so we have pretty much opened up this whole map, know where everything is, right?
Yep.
And so, what I would say is we head back and talk to the Dwarven brothers. Oh, Evander can hear now. Woohoo!
Ah, nice. Just can't talk.
Just can't
Okay,
talk.
fair enough.
fair enough.
I don't know if you saw where I come back out this area because that's where the Dwarven brothers are, right? That's where we left them.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys can all go meet back up in the main entrance area. You know that you can get back there without having to go through the fungus room. You've uncovered everything in here that you need to uncover and cleared out all the nasties.
So, a question about the fungus room. Do we think that do we think that we could maybe have Tertius send the flame sphere in there and just like destroy all that fungus without us having to worry about any damage to us, or do we not know?
No, I mean, you obviously could. You can go in and you can burn through all the fungus. I know Nundro and Gundren would ask you not to. That they'll go through and destroy the poisonous mushrooms and fungus, and because there's a lot of fungus in there that's actually edible. And then there's luminescence, some of the
Okay.
fungus. So there's more good fungus than bad, and they'd prefer that just leave it alone. They'll take care of it.
Okay, so we'll come back and we'll inform them of all the. We'll tell them everything that has happened. Here's everything that we went through. Here's the stuff we destroyed. There was a lot of undead in there. Everything we've gone into every room that we thought we could find. That we could find. Maybe you guys are going to find some kind of like secret passage that we didn't uncover. But we destroyed all the undead. We had that big skeleton or the flaming skull that was a real pain in the ass. We had that fungus room. We found this font of magic, which we know that it's, that's probably where they did all their enchanting. So we'll give them that big, that background.
And they're amazed. They're like, undead? That many? A wraith? A spectator? I mean, and at point you say some of that, and they're like, well, I heard rumors, but I mean, I had no idea. Just there are lots of mages here, and as those two kind of, actively kind of talking amongst themselves because obviously they had more deeper knowledge of the lore behind this place, which helped them find it in the first place, but in the end, they're very thankful and they're really excited because they want to try to understand the font. And at which point they kind of sheepishly look at you guys and say, "Well, we kind of thought there would be that magical brazier." They say it's called the Forge of Spells, and it's what they were using for enchanting everything. So that is probably as valuable as any gems or ores that we can mine out of this place.
Nadia, at a minimum, and Tertius secondarily, will both kind of nod about that and go, Well, that's understood. You know, we know that you already said we're going to be pulling down, 15% of what you produce in here. You know,
Well, Nundro says, I think I said 10. And then, no, Nundro says, Gundren says, I think I said 10. And Nundro says, kind of interrupts, yeah. Did you find any magic items? I mean, you found the font of the Forge of Spells. Do you find any magic items?
I'm back now. Depends.
well, we don't want to say depends.
So we don't know.
At which point, Gundren says, before you guys have to answer, he says, whatever they found, they earned. They can keep it. They saved my dwarven butt when I was captured. They've done all the legwork and cleared this place out. I'm going to honor the 10% I told them they get, and anything they found in here is theirs. And Nundro looks a little crestfallen, but he's like, yeah, you're right. They did rescue me too.
Okay, so we got the 10%. So Nadia is not a monetary person. So Nadia will be like, so do you know how that font of magic works?
They just kind of look at each other and go, no. I mean, the only descriptions we ever saw was mages would, take their item that they have enchantments on and stick it in there and do some more spell work and then pull it out and it's done. As far as we know, you stick something in and magic happens.
Sure. So Nadia again, she's not monetary based. So but she is always interested in improving her abilities. So Nadia will specifically say, we definitely the 10%. That's great. When you guys started up, we'll definitely be keeping in touch and all that kind of good stuff. But my interest personally is once you learn how to use that font, I want to know what it can do. Is there things that it can do for me? Are there things that you can build for me that'll help me in our, upcoming, as we continue on our adventures? So basically, she wants to know, she wants them to keep her informed if they think that they know how to create items, and maybe she may come back and ask for them to improve items she already has or create new items for her.
Okay. They agree to that. This is, well, that's fine. Happy to let you know what it is since you were so helpful. Since we don't know anything about it, I don't know if we can say that we can do any enchanting for free because we're not mages. But yeah, we learned something. We'll let you know.
Understood. So based on that, so we've cleared out everything. So we'll, I think we'll ask them. Are they just gonna? You guys just gonna hang out here? Are you guys gonna stay? Are you guys gonna be sending off? Do you need us to relay any messages anywhere?
Yeah, Gundren gives you a note to supply to the place in Phandalin. I can't think of it at the moment. Barthen. So to go, give a note to Barthen for some provisions and a location where they're at, and some sealed envelopes to be, sent off to some, distant relatives. Because obviously this is going to be more than two dwarves can handle.
All that stuff is getting delivered to Phandalin.
Yeah, just when you get back to Phandalin, you can drop it off with Barthen at the provisions place.
Sure.
And Gundren asks, is Daggerford where I can find you guys, since that's where I came across you originally, or where's a good place to reach you all?
I'll let him know where my estate is. That messages sent there will eventually get to us if we're not at Daggerfall, because we'll probably be in various places.
He says, estate? Estate? You're wealthy? Man, I would have never guessed. You guys just look like ragtag adventurers.
Nadia will look over. He's wealthy.
Thanks.
I'm slumming it.
Oh, wow. You're doing a good job. And you're not sure if you take that as a compliment, or a slam, or just a backhanded compliment.
Why would you be out here doing this shit when you can send people to do it yourself?
That's kind of the kind of the feeling you get from Gundren, right? He's only out here doing this because, well, he doesn't have anything, and he's a fortune seeker, and this is paid off. But yeah, that's pretty much all that happens. He says, if you want to stay and help me, clear out some of the corpses, I'll be happy to do that. He double checks with you again. He says, that flaming skull thing, you sure it's dead? Maybe,
oh yeah.
Maybe you should go check again before you leave.
Nadia grins and says, I jumped up and down on its skull. It's gone. It's done. It's broken into like dust.
They seem a little leery about that, but they're like, okay, you haven't given them any reason to distrust you in any other dealings, so they're like, all right. And the black spider, was that really a spider, or who was it?
It was just some wizard.
It was a drow. We found him in the most northwestern area where there's a statue to, I can't remember which god. I think it was the god of the your god of smiths, the dwarven god of smiths, right?
Yeah, Dumathoin.
Yeah, so
the god of mining.
Okay, mining. So we found him in a room up there. There's we know that there's the 6 pillars. We destroyed the wizard and his spiders and his hobgoblin henchmen, and that's as much as we know about him. He was there. He was investigating that statue. All we know is that the statue had some kind of magical, Dweomer about it. It was kind of like a protection-based thing, and we left it alone. And I'm surprised
both dwarves kind of nod.
Shit.
Oh.
That was several weeks ago, and I remember that. That's like, I'm thinking song lyrics now. I must have had song lyrics going with that.
Might have been. So they nod and thank you, and they're like, well, temples or to Dumathoin typically are imbued with some kind of protection against damage, and so we'll definitely look into it. And Nundro says, isn't one of our cousins a follower of Dumathoin, like a priest or something? I don't know. I don't that they're crazy side of the family. They're kind of talking amongst themselves now. But yeah, what do you guys want to do? You want to head back to Phandalin at this point, or did you want to actually stay and help them, clear out dead bodies? And
I have no interest in clearing out dead bodies.
Yeah, neither do I.
Can you push the world map to us, and so we can see where we are in relation to Phandalin?
Yes.
It is at an angle kind of between us and where the other place we were looking at going.
So the campfire is where you guys are.
Well, Thunder Tree was where we were looking at going. That's
Yep.
where that
That's east.
That's
the
east.
heirloom. Yeah.
that's
that
the
you
heirloom. That's the
opposed.
only other thing we have on our list right now. So we've destroyed the black spider as far as we know. The only thing we have left is the family heirloom in Thunder Tree. So Phandalin would be where we're heading back to, Jim. I mean, if everybody, I'm like you said, I have no work tomorrow, so I can stay up all night long, or all morning as it may be.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I do have work tomorrow, so.
Yeah, I need to pretty much call it.
All right.
All
So
right.
what we'll say is we will call it here, and next time we'll have you head back to Phandalin. And then once you guys get there, we will award experience, and I think everybody will level up. If not, you will be very, very close. Tertius might not, but everybody else, I think, probably will.
All right, so I am deleting all of the notes about the black spider.
Yep, probably
Just-
not useful.
Probably not useful.
And then the only thing I'm really leaving is the Thunder Tree stuff, because I don't think that there's anything else we have going on other than that.
Yep, I think you're right. All right, well, if anybody out there is watching, thanks. I'm going to end the stream, and we'll see you next week.